everybody, and welcome to another episode of Asian's Return. Tonight we're playing a story, a campaign, a game set in Frostmark's...
Be extra paranoid because we're probably going to get attacked. And so we do everything we can to ensure nothing wrong happens. There's a long conversation about bones.
I asked questions and was unfairly attacked for my curiosity.
Most of you suck at keeping watch. Titania uses time shenanigans to see the fabric of the universe to not suck at keeping watch.
I did not suck at First of all, I did not suck at keeping watch. I was actually teaching someone how to be more perceptive, and I did a great job.
Yeah,
actually.
yes, you
This
did.
is
That's
unfair
very
slander. I was clutch all session.
Have you seen my, all I do is slander in my session summaries.
I know. I entered a bone and soul one. Sure. We looked on, so we, we did some traveling, and we crossed some, like, really cool mountains with, kind of, like, some cool waterfalls and stuff. I think the most...
river.
Yeah. I think the most significant thing that we found on our travels was a house shack place that had been, whose main occupants seemed to have been killed at some point previously.
Mm-hmm.
And the place had been, it seemed, ransacked, sort of indicating or pointing to the struggles of the people living there. They seemed to have needed the supplies and killed someone for it, you know, kind of reminding us of the tough life of the people who live there.
And also as we cross from the mountains into the more swamp-esque land, there's like a shift in the air pressure and a change in the weather that indicates to us that, oh, the divine things have an effect on these places. Interesting.
Under pressure.
Under pressure, yes.
He also wondered if the gods are just grumpy landowners.
Probably.
They're kind of like landlords, it's not.
I was gonna say landlords, deities are really any different.
Yeah, exactly. There is a lengthy conversation between Ginevra and Aaron.
Riddled
Adrian,
with
you can talk
spelling
about it
mistakes. Yeah, we had like a brief conversation over, Aaron's brother, and whether or not, how he was in the military. Bit of history was dumped in Ginevra's lap. She was very interested in his brother because I can't remember if it was something to do with like the military side of things or intelligence side of things. It's hard to say. And then it was a very nice scene. I liked it. It's just, it seemed like it came out of nowhere in a certain degree.
That's fair.
And then Ginevra backs away from that conversation and then insists with Acheron to mess with Aaron.
Yeah, there's a bit of a hint to their past friendship. That they have apparently a history of pranking.
I will also have it known that I was horribly bullied last episode. Twice. Yes, putting it out there.
He helped you with your English. It's not bullying.
It's not.
It's the duty of the players to roast the hell out of their GM.
That's
true. That's very true. Gotta give something back, eh?
I say this as a fellow GM who got roasted to hell by their players.
I can't relate. All my players in my games are very respectful and have never roasted me ever.
I'm pretty sure we've roasted you several times, Ajax. Yeah, we definitely do. Anyways.
Yeah.
So we find another cabin later on in the day, and losing daylight, we're like, okay, guess we're sleeping here. Aaron chooses to sleep outside, and we're all like kind of winding down, prepping to sleep for the day, and suddenly, kaboom!
Oh wait, beforehand, Ginevra and Acheron were about to have a little talk about finally being open about their past and getting all of the secrets that their friendship had been formed around out of the way when we were gas bombed.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Rudely interrupted, as I said.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. During the combat, Ginevra, Dennis, and Bogdana all go down to sleep gas. The rest of us stay up. And we stunlock the hell out of the single enemy and beat her to shit.
Which went very well,
Yeah.
personally, I think.
Towards the end of the combat, she offered a ultimatum, and all three of us kind of just unanimously agreed that we don't want to deal with any of your shit. Fuck off, and we killed her.
The church had pushed us one time too many.
Yeah.
Just to throw back to my incredible line, because I think it's very neat. She died with the request to give Rion Acheron's regards. You know, if there is an afterlife. Probably not, to be honest.
Probably not.
What we know. Not that she knows that.
Have fun in Oblivion, love.
And you got like a hell of a soul.
I got a level 5 soul.
Yeah, holy shit, guys.
Which, I mean, the best thing I could do with that is honestly translating multiple spells, but...
Let the war games begin, as they say.
Ooh. Ooh. Thank you, thank you. Okay. Alright, let's get back into it. Oh jeez. Here we are.
Oh, here we go.
You look upon the mangled, bloodied, and soulless corpse of this church agent, with frustrated fury still heaving your chests up and down. Scorched earth, violence, war. You taste the words in your head. This was undoubtedly a cliff, one that you have taken the brave step to fling yourself off of. This will change things. Now, the question is, was it better to remain on the edge or to be in freefall? So, my heretical friends, what is your next move?
I think the first thing Acheron does is actually kind of let out a little smile. We finally did it. We're finally not in limbo anymore.
Titania will begin she'll kneel down and kind of begin scouring the body for any resources, having taken
My next.
the soul, and say, Kaya, Aaron, do you want to go scout around for that cure? She said she had a stash somewhere. Might be worth looking for.
We can try, but I don't know. Bexxy, would I know how likely we are to actually find that thing anywhere nearby to us?
Well,
Make an assumption based
she
on
would
tactics.
probably have it in a reasonable distance. But if she, I mean, you have been taught that if you're killed on a mission, that your things are supposed to not be able to be found, right? To not like give people poisons and missives and seals and things like that. So I will allow you to roll a 1d100. And if you get above like a 95, then sure.
What's the harm in trying, right?
Okay, then as you
You
search
both look?
around, yeah, can roll for everybody that looks. You can roll a 1d100.
Damn.
It was worth a shot. Okay, what should I roll for Titania looking at the body?
Nothing is really necessary. No investigation check because nothing is hidden. They're attached to like a belt. Are two other bombs contraptions that with either a click of a button or enough of a smash will trigger. They are two vials of liquid. Then there is a crossbow, a hand crossbow, bolts, a fuck ton of rope, and 4 daggers.
Titania will take one of the bombs, hand it to Acheron, take the other one, hand it to Aaron, and say, I think you two should hold on to these. And Kaya, this as well. And we'll give you the 2 vials just to see if you can identify what they are.
I can definitely take a look. Yeah, Acheron's kind of compliant. Acheron's just being a bit of a good mood, honestly, all things considered. Not the typical, like, repress, like, retreating into themselves I typically do after any amount of death.
Gorkov is breaking the silence and the calm by basically half shouting at you all whilst hopping around Bogdana's sleeping form.
Oh shit. Yeah, maybe we should go check on them. I don't think Acheron cares though, so.
Titania says, I don't think if they don't give you antidotes, I doubt they'd give this person, so I think that's all we've got. And
I mean, they make antidotes. I just don't know how to make them.
I guess I could take a look, see if there's something about it.
Though I'm not sure a Dustwalker's likely to have them.
Check the vials, see if they're poison or antidote if you can.
Can I check them without poisoning myself?
Well, we can see what it has a distinctive and not very nice odor. Odor.
Good job, Bexxy.
You're able to like taste a tiny amount because you know that what is safe, to imbibe and not, and it tastes faintly of parsnips. And then you know that you have 2 vials of hemlock.
I will say this to Titania and while Aaron searches out.
Titania will sigh and be like, okay, no antidotes. Let's see if we can find any way to fix this. And we'll lean down, kind of like pat Gorkov a little bit, and Aaron, can we bring her inside?
We'll do.
Yeah.
Pick up Bogdana and bring her inside.
Gorkov comes down a little bit, but still like half like screeching and like very worried, like jumping up and down.
Acheron's just gonna look at the bird.
Who flies in and kind of sits on the table, screeches at you.
Acheron's going to like look close at the bird and be like, if you don't stop screeching, you're next. And then is going to check to make sure Dennis and Jennifer are okay.
You know that comical sound where you start to
bird.
screech, but it kind of gets stuck in your throat? Yeah. What happens to Gorkov?
Yeah.
I think Titania will begin kind of like trying to shake them awake, checking eyelids. Just
Do I know, because I have probably done similar things before, do I know how to make sure that they are still okay? And do I have an estimate for how long it'll be before they wake up?
How many ranks of medicine do you have?
I have 2 ranks in poison.
Okay. Allow you to roll a poison intelligence.
Okay. One second. My character sheet
Ginevra
just
has
decided
2
that
ranks
it
in
does
medicine.
hate me. But Ginevra's unconscious.
But Ginevra's unconscious.
Aaron has 1 rank.
Titani has 0.
Loser. Are you good? You okay, Bexxy?
Yeah, it's okay. It was just a over the top gasp. Okay.
I got no fucking clue.
Well, feeling their pulse, it's steady. And
They're not dead.
They're not dead. That's at least something. Well, it's not like they're slowly fading by some kind of nerve poison or something that attacks your lungs or your blood system, because it's not erratic. It's not slowing down. Their eyes are, slightly rolled back, and they're completely. There's no twitching or any indication of dreaming. They're like unconscious rather than sleeping. So for now, it all seems okay. But you have no idea.
Yeah, Akron will look at
Can
that.
be a
like,
coma
will, like,
of years.
check.
Well, guess
Akron will check
Ginevra's not
them
coming
over,
back.
and we'll
I
like
kicked
kind of
her.
like look
I
at them
didn't
and we'll
want to
be
say
like,
this immediately, but I kicked her out of the campaign.
He's gone.
happens. Akron will like check them over and turn to to Tanya and Aaron and will say, "They're not dead."
Yeah, I can only hope they wake up after a reasonable period of time. How are you doing, Aaron? You got hit pretty bad.
I've been better. But I'll survive. Was a decent adversary. Someone
Is it
with a lot of skill.
Duskwalker?
Or what?
A Duskwalker, I believe. Wait, 1 second. Let me check. My player's an idiot. Yes, it is a Duskwalker.
Would you mind explaining what that is?
So, there are... I'm sure when you were in your army, you had your legendary figures. The really talented or long-lasting ones. For the agents, those are the Duskwalkers. I don't know if they have special training or whatever, but they're all kind of fucked in the head, and they have the ability to disappear at will. They're kind of more of a rumor than anything. I wasn't 100% sure they were a real thing, to be honest. Guess we know they are now.
Thank goodness I could restrict your movement like that then.
Probably more, now that they're real. I'm not surprised Irene has them. We'll probably face them again.
Well, at least we have a plan.
We do.
One.
Necron gives you like a small smile, seeming weirdly content.
Tanya will say, "So, do we even think that we could find asylum here, given that we're heretics? Or is Irene's deal with the Ravenmoors mean that
Depends
this is
on how
out of the
much.
question?"
Depends on how much the Ravenmoor person actually likes Irene, I think. As far as I see it, we have two options. Either we sell our information to the Ravenmoors, or we sell her, or we go to Bjornhelm and sell our information to them.
Why are we selling information at all?
Because that's the most valuable. Because our lives are fucking worthless.
Speak for yourself.
Information's... Excuse me, I'm sorry. Other than the literal angel in the party, our lives are fucking worthless. The information we have, though. We're the only ones who knew what happened in that tomb. Well, know is a strong word. Irene wants that information. I think it's fair to assume that other people would as well. Information's an exceptionally valuable currency.
Let's hope she gets frustrated enough and goes there herself or sends her own troops and gets fucked by that skull. Whatever it was. She's probably too smart for that, though.
I'm not sure the skull would it do the same thing again. Do you think?
I don't know.
At least we know where we stand now. Man, it feels good. Finally. Not be playing this fucking game.
Gotta say, it feels pretty good to not be a prisoner anymore.
Right? It's like you can actually breathe. Might be our last breaths, but...
That's the spirit.
I'd rather than... I mean... To be honest, I've just been waiting for Titania to be ready to make this choice. Feels good now that she has.
Never been one for half decisions. All in or nothing.
Right? It's like having a purpose. That's what you need. It's all you need to continue in a life is a purpose. And now we have one. Fucking over Irene as hard as possible.
Well, now we gotta protect some unconscious folk. If they're fine, it'll just be a matter of time. They kind of know where we are, though.
Well, we could... I don't know how we could try to move them. I don't know if Celia could carry that many unconscious people.
Maybe the three of us should just sleep outside and guard the door. But that would also leave us exposed, so...
It's the best we got. We
Yeah.
should work on getting rid of that book.
Will do. I think I've got enough for it now. But with that lady's soul, it was quite something. She's well trained.
Oh, God. One of, like, the most elite agents in the Force.
Can I, as we're just here, and Aaron's right next to Bogdana.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything on Bogdana's person?
Ooh!
Yes, Aaron.
Well, take
No,
a look,
Aaron.
because well, she's had poisons and antidotes perhaps, and the birds seem very interested, so maybe there's something.
Yeah, for sure. In her backpack there is these bone set, you know, with the ritualistic hide. She also has a purse with some clinking gold. She carries a tattoo kit and a herbalism kit. And stored within the herbalism kit, there is a salve in a little white, like a darkened glass bottle. There's also a number of herbs in smaller pouches that she carries, but they have no names.
I'll take a sniff of the salve, see if I recognize it.
I'm probably with your background. Yeah. You recognize it to be a restorative ointment.
Okay, I'll just kind of leave everything where it is, I suppose.
Okay. There are some of these plants that smell fun.
Fun.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, is it the weird shit that Ginevra was smoking when she did drugs?
Not all of them are fun, and it all depends upon the amounts you take. But yeah, she definitely have her own spice blend.
It's the drugs. We found it.
She's an old woman traveling, you know.
Anything to take the edge off.
Do crime and drugs. Just how it be sometimes. Fuck the church, do drugs. The message of this campaign.
Was that a question to me? Sorry?
Hmm?
Adrian? Was that a question, or
No.
was it more a statement? I didn't hear completely. No?
Yes. No.
Okay, alright. Sorry. Carry on.
I have a question.
Hmm?
How many hours do I have to work on spell transfers tonight?
You were interrupted during the dinner, so you have basically
Yep.
2 hours.
Great, I can get one spell down.
Better than no spells.
Better than no spells, yep. Since Honey's
I-
gonna spend one of her first level souls to, I guess, get mage armor into her second spell.
Okay. Alright.
I have a question, actually.
It's a painstaking process where you need to copy this exactly the same and have the soul in your hand as you do it, and in the end of it, like, infuse it into the page itself, and at that point it kind of shines back a red to you, and then it settles.
Alright, cool.
But did you say Ajax?
I have a question. Do I think that it would wake them up any faster if I were to, like, is there anything I could do to, like, try to wake them up faster, like, slap their faces or dunk water on them? Do I think that would help at all?
Sensory shocks might shorten it, but it might have to be a bit extreme because they're...
I know
Like-
what I'll do. I need Aaron, though.
Oh.
So Akron will, like, be, I think, sat next to Dennis, kind of, like, poking him, trying to think through how can I, induce something that isn't going to... Because, Akron's used to, like, it doesn't matter if I damage you, you're not going to live that long anyways. But now Akron actually has to, like, be careful. So Akron's kind of, like, just thinking, how do I...
Wait, should we
Do
choose
this.
Dennis to experiment at first? Is that it?
Yeah.
Alright,
Yeah.
see
'cause
how it is.
I don't... Ginevra's more important than Dennis.
Yeah,
to
see
Akron.
how it is.
I have an idea. So Akron's gonna get up and walk over to Aaron. Aaron, I need your help with something. Come here. And we'll walk over to Dennis with Aaron in tow.
What's up?
I need you to make him really, really cold. Like as cold as you can.
Okay. Why?
It might wake him up. If we can shock him enough, it might wake him up. But and usually I would just do that with pain or something, but that's not very good. I mean, it would probably damage him and then he wouldn't be as useful. It'd be kind of a problem and a hassle. So it seems like the best way.
Okay. I'll experiment on Dennis.
Oh god.
Thing is, though,
God, yeah.
What evil art.
chilling something has to be non-material, so he'll take a rock
Doug?
or several rocks from around where the fire pit is,
Uh-huh.
and I'll cast prestidigitation on them several times, make them colder and colder.
Mm-hmm.
Hypothermia, hypothermia, hypothermia.
Mhm.
He'll be fine.
And
Will he?
Stick him on his like neck or something.
I was gonna shove him down his pants.
That's a good idea. That's a better idea.
And as I do that, I will summon the sword. And I'll cast Frosty Blade on it and put that sword down his spine.
This is everything I wanted from this. Aaron does understand pranks. Aaron just doesn't know it yet.
Oh, holy shit, I gotta roll a vitality saving throw with advantage.
Tanya is busy, like, frantically writing in her
Cold pants,
spellbook.
cold pants.
And you just cold pants, cold pants, cold pants.
It doesn't happen immediately. Like, there's first, like, this twitching of the body. Eyes that starts to flutter, and then, oh god, holy hell breaks loose. An ear-piercing scream. And like the waddle of a penguin on the floor, you know, or a fish on dry land as he's trying to get away from you.
Akron just offers a high five to Aaron.
This is why Dennis is the best character.
Is he waddling around like he shit his pants? He's got the rocks in his pants.
Yeah, exactly. Like a fish on dry land. He doesn't have full control of his body yet, so it looks very awkward. He's rolling around on the floor, like half awake, trying to get rid of this cold from his private parts.
Yeah, Akron will like hold up a high five hand to Aaron.
Aaron kind of like places his hand on Acheron's hand.
Yes, so like. Do they just sit there like that?
Yeah, it's super awkward. Like he doesn't understand high five.
Akron doesn't get high fives either, so they just sit there with their hands touching, watching. So it's just them like
what
this.
else will happen now?
Akron's just watching Dennis waddle around, and there's just like a smirk of amusement.
Holy smiley! Holy smokes! Ah! Oh my Rion! What happened? What's going on? What the fuck?
Well, first you got drugged because you apparently didn't learn anything.
Oh,
and
no,
then
my head. Oh.
And then we murdered someone. And
Is
now
there
we're at
a-
war with the church.
Is there an axe stuck to my head or what? Is my head
No,
intact?
that's just the poison. It's just the poison.
Are you sure I'm not dead?
I can show you the difference if you'd really like.
I'm fine, I'm okay. But maybe I should be
No,
dead considering what you're saying. What?
Well, which part? The part about you getting poisoned, the part about the murder, or the part about the war?
The war?
Oh yes, very scorched earth type thing.
He,
I mean,
looks like a scrawny 19-year-old, completely out of his depths.
if it makes you feel better, you were already dead in the church's eyes. Now it's just official.
Aaron's gonna point to Dennis
Right.
and point to his crotch and say, "I'm gonna need those."
He's gonna cover his
No,
crotch!
just sat here like this.
He's gonna cover his crotch and give you the reddest cheeks whilst, like, moving towards the wall.
Ron will let you have your hand back now. This has gone on for way too long.
I mean, the things in your pants. I need them.
What's happening?
We shoved cold rocks down your pants to wake you up. I didn't think
Oh.
it would work, to be
Oh,
honest,
the rocks,
but
the
I'm
rocks
kind of
is that you...
impressed that
Okay.
it did.
Okay, the rocks, yes, the rocks I can do.
What did you think that meant?
No, nothing.
If it makes you feel better, Dennis, you're not that impressive.
more of a grower, shall we say.
I really don't think
I
the
think
first thing is what we want you for.
I think I'm going to go out and have some fresh air.
Oh, don't get poisoned again. We won't be able to save you next time.
At this point, maybe I want to get poisoned.
Oh, really? Akron, like, asks that not in, like, a threatening way, like a genuine way.
No, he doesn't answer. He, like, walks with, like, a low-hanging head.
Titania, did he want to be poisoned?
What?
He said
Tanya
he
like
wanted
looks
to
up
be
from her spellbook, obviously hasn't been listening.
He said he wanted to be poisoned. I'm confused.
Probably didn't mean that. He'll be fine. Are you okay? She'll finally actually look at Dennis.
Dennis left.
Oh,
Yeah, Dennis left.
Okay, now we gotta make the rocks really cold for Ginevra.
well, make sure he doesn't, like, get himself killed, please.
Fine.
Thank you.
Akron will get up and we'll go outside with Dennis to make sure he doesn't get himself murdered. Like a little eye roll at Titania.
Well, the same thing happens to both Bogdana and Ginevra, I think, at this point. At a certain point. Well, wait. Will Aaron shove cold rocks down the pants of Bogdana and Ginevra?
I think he's a bit more practical than that. And he knows that Titania also knows the spell.
And leave it to Titania?
I believe Titania knows the spell.
Prestidigitation?
Yeah, we kind of did it together in the cave in the mountains, right?
Yes, we do have prestidigitation.
So he will like tell Titania about the cure and step into the doorway and watch for your
It's gonna be a couple hours. Titania's still writing her thing, but once she's done, Titania will take the rocks, do some spellcasting, and just follow Aaron's instructions.
Okay. Alright.
Okay.
Akron, you find Dennis sitting outside of the house, leaning up against the wall with his head in his hands, having a vicious headache.
I'll go sit next to him. Just kind of sat on next to him, kind of looking up at the sky.
Mm-hmm.
Sucks, doesn't it?
This is not, I would say, one of my better moments, no?
Does Akron know any tricks from their agent training, like their times getting like poisoned and stuff that might help alleviate, like, you know, like the kind of like tricks that you learn, like when you have like a headache, like, you know, oh, do this, it helps it go away faster, or hurt less or whatever.
It can be, you know, either fresh, colder air. It could be getting a nap in. It could be being in an environment that is not that bright or not that noisy. And of course there are, you know, apothecaries that are able to like offer powders and stuff like that to combat headaches and things like that. Sometimes it's about vomiting, you know, getting it out of your system, and then resting for a bit, drinking, and then eating something proper.
I kind of will offer Dennis some water from like one of the water things. It will instruct him to just try to take in as much air, as good air as possible. We'll say, I remember back when I, you know, from my times in your shoes. No, not exactly. You know, water and air tended to help. Being poisoned is never fun. It's honestly one of my least favorite parts of the whole thing.
Thank you. Agaron, what what should I do? What am I doing? What am I supposed to do now? I mean, things just keep happening that I'm not in control of. And you guys are all so badass and so capable, and you know, I'm just me, and
You're handling this better than I think most people would if it makes you feel better. As far as us being badass and capable, all of us were just like you at one point or another. When I was first brought into training, I was older than everyone, I couldn't read, and I constantly got my ass handed to me in every situation. I was the lowest ranked, almost, member of my class for several years.
he looks at you with like expression of no way. Can't believe that of you.
But you're right. I wish. Before I say anything, let me say this. I'm not Titania, I'm not good with words, and what I'm about to say probably won't sound comforting, but it will be true. The things that are happening now to you have always been happening. You're just part of this now. That doesn't make it easier for you, but it does. But if it brings comfort that nothing that is happening to you is new, then perhaps you'll find comfort in that. As for the fact that things just keep happening, you have two options. Either you accept that you're in this, you embrace it for what it is, a clusterfuck of a situation with limited ways out, and you decide here and now that you're not going to let whatever happens take you down. You decide that you want to live, whatever that means, and that you are willing to do whatever it takes to survive this. Or you decide that maybe living isn't something you wanted to do that much in the first place. You let fear consume you. You become weak. You become a burden. And eventually you will die. For what it's worth, I think you're strong enough to be just like us.
He doesn't seem to believe that. And
You are incredibly skilled. A weaker person wouldn't have survived this long anyways.
thank you for the kind words. I don't really believe them, but it helps. I have a lot to think about.
It's not going to be easy. But if I didn't think that you could make it, I wouldn't have allowed you to live this long.
But that's comforting.
Why would I allow you to suffer needlessly and drag us down with you if I didn't think you were capable of making it? I believe in your skills. Why won't you?
It's not only about skills, it's, you know, a certain amount of grit, and I fear I'd never been the one to have a lot of that. I always been a bit bullied by my peers that I am well, they call me the nervous rabbit.
Doesn't that make you angry?
Angry?
Yes.
I mean, not really. I don't think necessarily that this grit or being jaded or things like that is actually good things. It means that somebody has lived through harrowing things when harrowing things should be to begin with. And can also cause good people to do bad things.
There are no good people. There's just people.
No, with all due respect, that one I'm going to set my foot down on. My mama
Name a
taught
good
me right.
Oh? Your mama part of the church? The church that takes children and tortures them? Turns them into monsters like me?
I'm not sure exactly what the church has done, and I've heard some horrible things, but that doesn't mean we should give up, right? That's what you're trying to say. It means that we should get angry and make sure it's supposed to be what we actually imagine it to be. I don't know if I'll get the opportunity to do that, but I mean, if I could, I would.
You have the opportunity to do that now. Look, whether or not being bullied makes you angry or not, something does. Find it. Rage will get you through a lot more than anything else, regardless of what people like Titania or Ginevra might tell you. Rage is the strongest emotion. Make it your core. Feed it, and you will survive anything. You want to know how you get out of it? That's how. You get angry, and you get good. You have the skill to make a great warrior one day. Don't let something like soft-heartedness and naivety get you killed before you get there. I don't know, give him like a... Try it like a friendly pat on the shoulder.
He
This
looks
was
like
Akron trying to be good.
Alright.
Akron gave it a go. This
Yeah.
is Akron's attempt at comfort. I don't know. It probably didn't work very well.
He looks like he's in another existential crisis, and just before you like stand up and leave him, he's gonna whisper to himself, "I'm not that small."
Yeah, and Akron will go back and peeking their head in. Last thing Akron will say for like sitting down by themselves to look through things and recatalog stuff. Now that we've gotten to stuff and make new plans. We'll look at Titania and we'll say, I think I'm getting the hang of this friendship stuff.
How are they doing, Dennis?
I think we had a very good conversation, and I think that they found a lot of comfort in my words.
Well, it's good to hear. This,
Or he might be having a panic attack. It's kind of hard to tell between the two.
Excuse me. Titania will say, I see. Yeah, I've been working on copying over these spells, and I'm just wishing I had a way to dispel whatever's going on with this book, but I don't think it's anything I can mess with.
We still want to go to the Raven Wars, right? And you still think that's the best idea?
If it goes wrong, we can always run. Might as well try and take the opportunity, right?
I want to sell the info.
Yeah.
If she doesn't know how soul marks already work, I want to tell her for safety. I want to tell her about everything.
The Countess?
If she'll protect us, I don't see why we shouldn't. Loyalty's fucking useless if we're too dead to have it.
Right.
Or the Queen. We still have that last message thing, don't we? The scroll.
Right. I
We could try to start a war between the Queen of Oldwood and Irene. Reveal that she's been working with the Ravenmoor Countess.
We play double agent or something?
We're our own agents.
I guess so. I'll still... Once I've copied all the spells I already know, if I still have the souls, but... I want to get that sending spell in my book, because it'll be useful for communication. We're still gonna have to hold on to it for a couple more days as I keep getting things down, but I guess they know where we are regardless, so.
At least we're finally doing something about it.
Yeah, I guess it's not really in doubt whether or not we'll be getting more souls over time, so.
I can get you as many as you want. I know that's not what you want to hear, but it is true.
Well, violence seems to be inevitable in our situation, so.
They don't have to be bad people. I mean, good people. They don't have to be bad people, oh my god. They don't have to be good people, you know. If that's how you have to categorize things. It's funny. In Irene's haste to use us both as weapons, in my haste to protect you, I think at the end Irene has turned you into exactly what she wanted all along. Both of us. You ever think about that?
Well, I can always be what she wants and not have to be a tool to be used for her ends.
No, that's exactly what I mean.
I want to be the hand that wields the hilt of my own sword, not somebody else's.
I'm proud of you. For what it's worth.
This is everything I didn't want, and...
You can't burn something down without starting a fire, Titania. You were simply holding the matches and waiting for a spark. And now you have it. Don't focus on what this could have been. Focus on what it's going to be. There's no point mourning could have, should have, maybe if. If I could go back and do it again. You can't.
Yeah. Just gotta keep pressing forward.
Well, in Ekron, we'll look over the maps and try to see how much time we can shave off this journey while Titania copy spells.
Okay. Alright. Titania spend most of the evening copying it down, but you do so successfully. Then wakes Ginevra and Bogdana with two other shrieks. Bogdana demands to know what has just happened, but being in a hostile situation against the church seems pretty, same old for her.
Poison, murder, war.
She basically says she never intended to come out of this alive anyway, so she is completely fine.
It's new. You didn't have the vibe of someone who wanted to live.
I've done my part, dearie. It's quite enough. Herbs help these old bones and sinews to move, but soon even that will stop helping, and I don't like being useless. Unable to help myself. That is just undignified.
So you're after what? Blaze of glory?
Glory? No, that's stupid.
What we're doing, not glorious.
I'm just
Some
fixing
capacity.
one last mistake. I should never trusted her. I should never
Speaking
taken
of-
in Larissa. Should have
Well-
seen the gleam of ambition for what it was. Kicked her out.
Speaking of your mistake,
Hmm.
how likely is it that we could turn her against Irene and seek protection from her? It's not what you'd want, but it might be the only thing saving us. At least for the time being.
She's not someone I expect to actually take refuge from, though, after all.
Irene or Larissa?
Larissa.
Well then, what do you think we should do?
Figure this out ourselves. Seems like everyone has a card to play in their own game. And we here just trying to find out what's happening in between.
So, steal the rock. Use it for our own ends.
Right?
What ends are yours, by the way, of past stealing the rock?
One more time, so I didn't hear that.
What are your ends past stealing the rock? Because if, out of character, if I remember correctly, that's as far as your ambition went, was get the rock.
That rock. That gem. Well, I don't know exactly for me what that means, and for Ginevra I know it's something very specific. All I know is that this is the closest I've come since being here, since waking up, of being closer to answers of what happened in the past. I feel a connection, somewhat. Something
So,
deep.
Connie, I'm not sure you're getting that audience anymore.
Great.
We can try. I'm not sure how successful it'll be.
Larissa is completely absorbed in her own business and not the type of person we should be negotiating with. Then I'll trust your judgment. Looks to Bogdana and Patron.
From what I remember, well, we have spent a few years apart now, so she might have grown up a little bit. I hope she has.
You murdered a king.
What? Speak up, dearie. I'm old.
She murdered a king.
Yes, well, they're not entirely certain, but I have strong suspicions. She is brilliant, ruthless, incredibly dedicated, curious, focused, hardworking. But she's also pompous as a brat. Too ambitious for her own good. Willing to sacrifice things around her to gain what she wants. And greedy. I know for a fact that she was a bit ashamed of her very modest upbringing and heritage. And when she caught my eye, she basically jumped on the opportunity. But not only because of her burning curiosity of what I had to say, but also because it gave her a form of status. That she wasn't any ordinary peasant or farmer or hunter or logger, laundry woman. I recognized all of that. But I thought that once she had it, that she would gain some temperance, wisdom. That she would come to recognize that there is more to this life than just chasing riches and power. She's sly. I came to care for her. Of course you do, after such a long time with a small person that is under your care and you see them grow. It's bound to happen even for a curmudgeon like me. I'm aware. And she used that against me. Manipulated me. And when I thought that she was getting better, well then, she took my things and she ran. I should have gone after her immediately, but I am not without my own folly. I was too proud, then too bitter, and too angry at the girl. Maybe if I had gone after her and slapped some sense into her, then things would have been quite different. But here we are. Here we are.
And your desire is to kill her?
I will not let the intimate knowledge that I possess from the honorable organization that I belong to be warped and perverted and used in this manner. I taught her these things, and she has used it in quite horrendous ways. And it needs to stop. There's a
But do
reason
you
for why
want
we
her?
have all gone so passive. And if killing her, then if that is required, then I will do that. I will not
But is
let
that
my
what you
legacy be
want?
this. I'm speaking. Now you may speak.
Sorry, there's a delay. But is that what you want?
What I want doesn't really matter. Because it would require some kind of unknown magic for going back into time and changing things. Something I know that many a person have wished at least once in their lives.
Okay, so Aaron does not want... So out of character, just like make sure I'm getting this straight. Aaron does not want to deal with Larissa at all. Or not make deals with Larissa.
Correct.
And Bogdana wants to stop Larissa, so also does not want to make a deal with Larissa.
She would be willing out of, manipulating. But if the
Okay.
end goal would be to do that, then yes.
Okay. We'll have to ask Ginevra when she gets back. I'm just trying to figure out, as Acheron, what has changed in our... Like, out of character, just, like, so that
Yeah.
I'm not being
Ginevra-
sneaky. Like, I'm just trying to figure out what in our plan has changed, so that way we can, like, make the plan to go forward.
So out of character, I mean, we've had the conversations before already, but
Yeah.
to sum up, Ginevra also wants to stop Larissa, who uses this gem, because there's a ritual involved with it, of which
Yeah.
it is not in alignment to what Ginevra wants or what Lapuana wants for Ginevra.
Yeah, that's
Aaron
what I
doesn't-
remembered.
So they're in direct competition with each
Okay.
other. So if Ginevra was there, she would obviously also say that
Yeah, no.
Lapuana has given her a divine task to directly remove Larissa's objective and enact her own.
Okay, so what I'm hearing is no on the making a deal with Larissa for safety. Okay. As far as stealing the gem goes, that's the next, just so you know, like me being unhelpful in wording my dialogue, this is the next thing that Akron is discussing is stealing the gem and what that entails. So, the next thing we need to plan is how much violence we're planning. So we plan to steal it. Do we still want to talk to her at all? Because if not, that changes our plans. Is the audience something that we're just not going to seek anymore? Or...
Given their security, I don't know if it would do us much good to take the audience.
Not unless we have a way in to explain our reason for being there.
The
I
only
know
thing-
that the town nearby is at least somewhat expansive and there's things going on in there. It's a question of if you want to be subversive. We can't just walk up and say, we're meant to be here. There may be other people in the town nearby that are in similar wavelengths. Maybe there is some sort of, I don't know, underground that doesn't want to be there. Doesn't want Larissa to be in power. We just don't know until we get there.
I think
So
seeking
maybe-
out connections would be a valuable use of our time.
I think that's a good next step then before we plan our heist. Go to the town and see what we find then, perhaps.
More of a city than a town. It's a
Fenby
fairly
is,
substantial port.
Is it, wait, Fenby or Alderholt? Oh, it's
Alderholt.
Alderholt.
Adelholz is the
Oh.
largest settlement on the eastern coast.
Yeah.
Of Warwood.
Alderholt is a pretty substantial city. There should be all sorts of people there.
All sorts of disgruntled people that want a regime change.
Guess we're getting that revolution after all. So, go to the town, city, see what we can find as far as allies, then make our plan.
As a suggestion, I don't think that I should perhaps even enter the town. I would be very careful. She knows who I am, that's quite sure.
Is she tracking you?
She might be. Might be better that I wait outside and you call for me whenever you would need me properly.
How would we do that?
The birds, dearie. I will make sure to check in on you with them from time to time.
Okay.
Even if I can go completely unnoticed, I'm quite sure Gorkov can fit in. And she gives Gorkov scritches and he kind of puffs out his feathers.
Noisy bird you have.
He's a bit of an asshole, but he's my asshole.
Does Bogdan have a soul mark? Visible anywhere?
Yes, not visible, but
Okay.
she does have one.
Okay.
You've seen her eyes glow and something within
Yeah.
her clothing glow whenever she's casting.
Yeah. Alright, out of character, I think that's our plan then, is just go to the town and see.
Gather information.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Alright, okay.
We
So that's how our plans have
improvise.
changed.
Woo!
Cool. Sorry to like force that thing. I wanted us to be
It's all
clear
good.
where we were going,
But it's
so that way we
sounded
knew
necessary, so.
what we were doing. Because I didn't know what we were doing.
Well, it makes sense. It'll save us time instead of role playing. Like, oh, do we make a deal or no deal?
Mhm.
Yeah. I think that
I
was
usually find
yeah.
half roleplay and half out of roleplay talk to be the best kind of mixture, because you get
Yeah.
the thematics of it all, but you'll get down to business.
I thought it was important to talk above the narrative strictly because Acheron is not the most socially adept with words, and so trying to get around the dialogue persona I have made was frying my brain really fast.
You did a good job.
Fair,
Don't worry
yeah.
about it.
Thank you. Okay, cool. So I guess what time is it? I'm confused on Is
By
it
now,
night?
Ginevra woke up, had a horrible
Yeah.
headache, and went back to normal sleep. And then you basically had this conversation just before bedtime. Like, if you're gonna wake
Okay.
up tomorrow to get a whole day's travel, then you better go to sleep now.
So we need to do watches then.
Mhm. All right. I guess it's us three.
Yes.
Dennis.
The drugged people are not really feeling up for it, but Dennis could like stretch. He would be able to sacrifice himself if he has to.
And we know that he would without question, so I say we
Yes.
take advantage of him.
Could we like patch ourselves up beforehand so that I can get a replenishment? I know it's metagaming, but you know, just because I took a lot of damage.
Oh, yeah, that's a good idea.
Oh.
Also, check on your being poisoned. Let's force Bogdana to do that for you.
Oh no, I've been poisoned.
Yeah,
Uh,
well, with Bogdana's help, let's metagame it. You have given you know what's happening, that you'll have nerve damage, and what is required to heal it.
Which is what again?
He requires potency 5 or 14 days of recuperation.
Is that reduced by vitality modifier?
Yes, it should be. I think I missed it. Yeah, 14
Okay, so
minus.
11 days.
Yes.
Ugh.
And what actually interesting thing here is that Bogdana, she has quite a extensive medical knowledge and mystical knowledge, is that she remarks that Aaron should have fared worse with this poison, that it should affect him more than it does.
What was it? Does she know?
I mean, second.
If she doesn't, that's fine. Akron's just curious. Akron has Akron has like the genuine interest in poison outside of killing people.
But you since you have it, vials with you, and considering what Bogdana describes it to be, it's severe hemlock poisoning.
Oh, okay. Never mind. That was my bad. My brain just did a stupid. I got it. Nope. I see what I did. For some reason, my brain was like, "Oh, it's because he's special. He should have fared worse." And no, it's just he's not faring as bad as he should have. I see. I mixed it up.
No, she is saying that he got a bad reaction to it, like an extremely bad reaction, but it is not as bad as it should be when you have a bad reaction to it.
Okay.
So
no,
he is strange.
Okay.
Just
Sorry.
saying.
Okay. Never mind.
Gee, thanks.
Okay.
She is calling out right now. Don't worry about it. It's
Thinking
not
I'm
complicated.
too pretty to think. Not my strong suit. I am pretty instead. Okay, thanks.
Okay, thanks.
At which
okay.
point Akron will instead narrow their. Oh, yeah, Akron's what used to learn up to. Akron's gonna look at Aaron and be like, "Do your people usually not take hemlock poisoning very well?"
I gotta say, I don't think I've ever felt like this before.
I've Have you ever been poisoned before?
Oh no, I've been poisoned before, just not with this kind of poison.
Are you talking about the last time you got poisoned here, or did you get poisoned before, like, everything happened?
Poisons and subversiveness in a wartime is kind of common. Some
Okay.
things you had to resist, but I'll be alright, I guess.
I mean, you're not gonna die, but you're probably gonna suffer.
That's okay. I'm used to it.
Everyone's satisfied with this answer.
Okay. You have your watches in the night. I'm not gonna have you roll for it because. Oi, oi, oh no. So recuperate any HP. You regain half your HD, and then you spend.
Still at full hit points and hit dice, baby.
Ginevra, Dennis, and Bordana fell asleep with a killer headache, but they're completely fine when they wake up after a long rest. Dennis is looking a little bit sleep deprived though when in the morning because he had to take a watch, but otherwise he's fine. And
Sorry, what's the discipline hit dice again? Is it 12?
D12.
D12.
Thank you. Sorry. Number's bad.
We're here to help with numbers. If you're here to bring the cute.
That's all I'm breaking. Oh, fuck yeah. That went
And
very
you
well.
add your vitality modifier to it, if you have any.
I'm sitting pretty at 10.
Or remove it, but you cannot get less than 1.
-1 for Ginevra, +0 for Akrod, +2 for Titania, +3 for Aaron.
Nice.
Hey, I mean, it's better than what it started at. If we were... 10 is better than what it started at, for character reasons, because I decided to make my life difficult.
Okay, so you awake to the steady but slightly muffled, due to the turf roof, rhythm of rain falling on your little hut. And the night was very much calm, just full of wind and eventually rain. No unpleasant surprises happening. So yesterday, all in all, was perhaps not the most pleasant, and you have mostly said what you needed to yesterday. So this morning is more full of silent tension and determination. Things are getting more complicated, and once you have figured out some puzzle pieces and connected them to a greater whole, there are still major parts of this theological, political, mystical, and magical map that you cannot see yet. Still, you pack up your things after a small breakfast and brave the rain. Thankfully, the wind is not the strongest, just barely enough to make some bushes' branches play, and the rain is of the summer kind. The morning consists of mud, rock, grass, and bush, and it heralds many hours of more of that to come. The landscape is still rocky and dramatic, closer to the Orient's point. Sometimes you face short but steep inclines and declines in this hilly landscape. But as your journey takes you closer to the east and the storm coast, the landscape slowly flattens out more and more. With its signs of civilizations emerges as well. More abandoned houses, a small hamlet that seems to have some life in it. Not one, but 3 flocks of sheep spotted. which perhaps does not bring up the fondest memory for Acheron. Just before lunch, the weather becomes definitely worse. The rain intensifies, and there is a rumble to the north. At that point, as you were walking on the crest of a rather long and slim hill, you spotted in the far distance another hamlet. This one seemingly under attack by a number of robbers or thugs. A few houses has been taken to the torch, not really managing to burn completely down in this rain. Villagers seems to be gathered in a group in the middle of the town, corralled into a scared group, and a single scream manages to pierce through the curtain of smattering water to reach you.
There is no way in hell we are getting involved in that.
Why not?
Nothing else. It would be souls for this process, and it'd get us in good with the locals.
How many bandits?
Yeah, I was about to say, that's my next question.
Yeah.
48
Before we
bandits.
do this,
48
how
bandits.
many bandits?
You stop and stare. Give me perception intelligence checks. It's quite far in the distance. It's raining. It's not the easiest.
Who?
Guidance?
All of us?
Not
Or...
good.
Anybody who is interested in checking.
My modifier is so good.
I dream for the day. It's a perception composure check. I dream of it at night.
I love
She's
that
gotta
we have
be
the exact opposite
unaware.
problem, because my intelligence is amazing, but my composure is terrible. Your composure is amazing. Your intelligence is not great.
Well,
I have a
Tanya and
question.
Acheron is definitely able to help, but Aaron is the one who kind of takes the charge on this. About 20. Some have horses.
Oh,
Fuck
okay.
no, absolutely not.
There's 3 of us. In good
Well,
condition.
6.
Real quick. Acheron's canon reason, like actual response, is not how many bandits are there. It's, you're like, oh, it might get us in good with the locals, blah blah. Acheron's reason is because we might die, and I don't know why we should care about them. Also, do you not remember the report? There's probably blackbirds there. The report we read from that, like, one priest that we had, the one that I, like, outlined.
Mm-hmm.
In
Same
big red.
situation.
Alright. Ginevra probably I think Ginevra would protest a bit, but then see that there's too many of them.
We have to keep a low profile. It's unfortunate. Or do anything to just try and help them, but not at the cost of our greater mission.
We have to pick our battles that we can win. This isn't one.
The last
This
thing
makes
we
you feel
want to
better,
do
this
right
is-
now is to have a reputation that precedes us.
They're probably used to it. They'll be fine.
Probably won't, but I don't think there's anything we can do right now.
Can't save everyone.
No.
Dennis is also a little bit sad to carry on, leaving the site behind. Not much later, as you round a crag, perhaps scanned 50 meters away or so, there's a woman. Dressed all in white. And soaked to the bone. She has a large basket hanging from one of her arms and a small brown leather pouch attached to her hip. And she seems to be slowly walking in the same direction that you are, but kind of down this hillside as you are more cresting the top of it. Then you see 2 thugs perhaps from the same raiding party that you passed by, emerging from behind yet another hill and running up to the woman with great haste. You imagine to see another scene of robbery, cries, desperation, but instead the woman calmly greets them, goes to her knees, and then carefully but determinedly removes a leather pouch, hands it over, and displays what's in her basket openly, and serenely offers what is within. A bit dumbfounded, the two thugs take what is offered, disregards the baskets. Then they kind of look around, sees you. One of them notifies the other what they've seen to watch you for a second. Seems to decide against attacking you, seeing as you are definitely more than they are. And all the while, the woman, dressed in white, waits on her knees patiently, without saying anything or resisting.
Can I insight or composure? Can I like empathy check that woman? Because this is suspicious.
Sure, empathy composure.
I don't trust this woman.
It will be limited from like the distance, but yeah.
Okay. I feel like that should be higher, but I think I messed up one of my numbers. That's fine. I'm rolling like absolute fucking ass today. Jesus Christ.
You were confused of like how anybody could take this lying down, but she seems rather calm with everything that is happening. As for sure.
I will quietly tell Aaron that if he wishes to take on these thugs, that's totally fine. But it probably goes more along the lines of, if you want to be a hero, now's your time.
They rummage through the leather pouch very quickly. One of them gets angry, grabs the woman's hair, shouts something in her face. Can't really hear what's being said, but the voice is gruff and aggressive. Again, with no fear, she seems to answer. They give her a good slap across the cheek. No reaction. Kick her down in the wet grass. Looks to you all once again. And then tries to run away.
No one doing anything?
No, I think Titania, once they see like this person getting beaten, is like, let's move. And
like move into attack. Is this like an attack command? Okay. Well, if Titania is given the command, that's what we're doing.
yeah, like.
Okay.
I bow to the whims of my master.
When they start attacking this person, Titania's like, well, we can't just. This is a fight we can win, and we can't just stand by and let innocent people fucking.
Okay.
Get trounced.
The attack command was given. Acheron does what Acheron is told. So. We're doing the attacking.
They were already moving away when...
I think this was while they were assaulting her.
This is when they were starting to beat her. Yeah.
One of them would then, like, tap the shoulder of the other, notify they're, like, moving forward, and they will just book it. But we already know who is faster. You will eventually.
I'm gonna try to take him down unless I've been told to do a thing. I have to do it.
Well, if
murder's fun.
With the distance of Titania, and if Aaron decides to join on top of Celia, with the speed of Acheron, these two ruffians are not of the same ilk, not even of the slavers that you met by Mercea's farm. They have bad teeth, they're in bad health, their equipment is sad, just sad, and they're, with your might added together, are crushed like sticks.
Oh, we don't even have to roll for it?
No, they die.
Oh, nice.
Okay. Well,
sick.
Titania's gonna nab those souls.
Yeah.
Yep, she's going to.
Do you want to rummage through what they have as well?
Yeah.
Well, most of this equipment you're not really happy about. Potency 1 souls. 2 of them.
That's
they-
2 more spells to copy. I'll take it.
Fair. Very fair.
Aaron will go to the girl.
Mm-hmm.
You seemed awfully okay with them taking what you have.
They have 11 copper on themselves combined.
I'll take it. I'll offer it to the woman.
And that's the end of combat music.
I like that you started it.
Yeah, I mean, for the feeling of it, for the theme of it. The woman picks herself up from the grass, kind of wrings out her long braid a little bit, and like try to remove some leaves that got stuck to her white robes. Picks up her basket from the ground. Oh, howdy there. That wasn't really necessary, but thank you anyway. Oh my, how
You were being
gallant you all look.
assaulted. Are you well?
Of course
As well
she's
as
not
I
well.
can
Do you
be.
see
I
how
mean,
she
it's
reacts?
stung a little bit, but it's alright. I will live.
Lady, you're fucked in the head.
That
The macro will
sounds-
hold out the copper from the the coppers that they got off of the bandits to her.
You would also be able to pick up the leather pouch that they were running with and give it back to her if you want to.
No, I want to look in that before we give it back.
Okay, okay. The leather pouch contains some travel rations, water. There is a cloak in there, and that's it. Oh yeah, and
Well,
a
that's fun.
pair of iron scissors.
Well, that's not suspicious. Yeah, Akron will give it back with the you're fucked in the head lady. We'll offer also the copper that they got off of the bodies.
To her.
Yeah, look her, she needs it.
Oh, thank you very much. Oh, no. Did you take this from the gentleman? Where are they anyway?
They're dead.
No. Oh, that's a shame.
What's wrong with you?
I mean, you ought to pity them rather than be angry. They are quite, haven't been given the best lot in life, with everything's going on. Perhaps we could have helped them instead. But in the spirit of gratitude and being helped, I'm still very thankful to you all. I'm Talia, by the way. Pleasure to meet you. You don't like you're around here.
Our history is of no relevance at the time.
Oh, I see. Well, do not worry.
Oh.
I will not pry. I understand how it can be. But are you traveling generally
is this a
towards
norm-
the east?
Vaguely. Is this a normal occurrence?
Oh, when you do decide to roam outside of the confines of Sperea, well, yeah, sadly, this is not my first time that I have been slapped around and my cloak has been stolen, or my lunch.
Is this a
Saw
normal
that.
thing?
Oh, God.
You seem very okay with the fact that they just came up to you and took what you had. Sure, you pitied them, but clearly you're from around here and there are things happening around here that you seem totally okay with, despite the harshness of the
Well,
events.
don't take me wrong, traveler. Of course, I don't wish for this to be to begin with, but I've sworn off all earthly possessions, so I'm not really angry if anything is taken from me, because I have nothing to be taken. In accordance, of course, to the Children of Harmony. Have you heard of them?
The what?
No.
The Children of Harmony.
Is that a cult?
A cult? I wish not.
I think Acheron looks mildly disturbed by this woman.
Tell us about them.
Oh, well, I was actually planning on inviting you. I mean, now the storm is coming in. I can feel it in my bones. Just half an hour. This way. You will be able to get food. I'm sure that there will be a warm bath. And you will be able to meet Jackson. Learn more of the Children of Harmony. Isn't that exciting?
Can I do a different check on her to see if she shows signs of brainwashing or other kinds of, like, coerced thought?
Ooh, okay.
I don't know what that would be, but but I'm going to argue that because Acheron has experience with it and experience doing it, that Acheron might be able to recognize it. Because Acheron was trained to break down people for brainwashing, so...
Very true. So in the spirit of that, I still think it's an empathy composure, but you have like the special edge to your empathy composure because of your background.
Okay.
Guidance. Out of D4.
Okay.
Do you know that Acheron is going to do this?
Oh yeah, can I see you
Probably
doing
not.
something?
Acheron's just
kinda
staring at this
Passive
woman.
chat.
That is
Cool.
more passive. You have no idea.
But I have a special edge. Is that just you letting me do it, or did that mean something for the roll? Sorry.
You're able to
Okay.
gain insight into this because of your
Yeah.
background.
Let me check something real quick. I think I did my math badly. When you have 2 points in a skill, is that
Your
Your
full
full?
proficiency. Your full proficiency.
So that number is lower. But that should be a 7, not a 4. That makes a lot more. Nope,
Yeah.
sorry, that should be a 6.
So
I can't do
3 plus
math.
3 plus your composure.
One day I'll be able to do basic addition, and then it's over for all you fools. That is a much better number.
Whoa!
I know my brainwashing.
Yeah. You haven't been present with it, but you have seen the tail end of the work of the sparrows.
Mhm.
And of course you have witnessed your class, trying it out and learning about it.
Trying it out.
Yeah.
Horrifying.
Practicing,
I just
See if you
need to
have the
take a
aptitude.
moment to let the horror of that sentence really sink in.
Okay. A moment of
ahead.
silence. Okay. No, she doesn't seem to be magically manipulated or affected. She doesn't seem to be affected from extreme circumstances such as torture would be. But she does seem affected by something that is she considers to be larger than life. This is like an effect that extremely devout people of Rion kinda elicit.
Okay, in that case, Acheron is going to get Titania's attention. And subtly give Titania one of their, danger signals that they've, developed over the years of traveling together.
Mm-hmm.
Whether that's the, tapping twice on, the back of your hand. The goal is to do it as subtly as possible, but Acheron gives you the, present danger symbol that Acheron would usually give if you were, at a seedy location, they notice someone dangerous. It's that kind of be aware.
Titania will ask, is the storm dangerous? Is staying out in the wilderness?
Well, I would like to think that the storm protects me, but it's more the rain cools down a little bit. I mean, hypothermia, can be rather unpleasant. It's better to be underneath a roof when it hits.
You
Is
say the
there-
Stormlord. Is the Children of Harmony related to the Stormlord?
Oh yes, have you heard about the Stormlord? Yes. We follow his teachings, or at least a form of it. It's definitely different from what they do over in the new capital, but I mean, it's a little bit modest to say, but I think ours are better. Oh, I totally forgot. This is the Feast of Gratitude tonight. It's gonna be a huge celebration. It must be divine providence that I met you tonight. You should join us.
Titania will look around at the rest of the group, see what their reactions are. She knows what Akron's thinking, but
Yeah.
like,
As much as the invitation is welcomed, we do have other places to be. Talia.
yes.
Really,
With
are
all
you
due
sure?
respect, Talia, I am afraid.
Okay, I might have been a little bit too brazen in inviting you into some kind of religious ceremony. I'm sorry about that. But at least, you should come to the tavern and get yourself a warm meal and a roof over your heads as we wait for the storm to pass over. I mean, what kind of gracious host and person of the universe would I be not to offer you at least that?
Your offer is heard, Talia, but like I said, we're in a bit of a rush. We'll be fine. Thank
I
you for your
understand.
concern.
If you give me just one moment to give us some privacy, Titania will kind of like pull Aaron and Akron and the group away just a moment and speak quietly and say, "This, as much as this is dangerous, there is also an opportunity to potentially learn something about the Stormlord here. So we're weighing our
She
options."
shows signs of fanaticism and maybe perhaps minor social brainwashing, though nothing that would come from the extremes of torture. Whatever she's onto, it's powerful and weird.
Are you suggesting to Tanya that we could break into whatever this cult is and find some sort of information before we actually get to Alderholt?
Well, I was just thinking about how we wanted to meet people, make connections, see what's going on here before we make any plans, and as odd as it might be, this is our first encounter with devotees of the Stormlord who are not actively hostile.
We want to find people that are with us, not against us.
Even I understand the dangers of fanaticism, Acheron, and we need to be wary, regardless of what circumstance we're entering. But in our wariness, we also need to gather information.
That's fair. Just think maybe we want allies that are, playing marbles with a full set, if you know what I mean.
Agreed. We don't need to make friends if we just want to ask questions and be in and out. And also, I'd rather nobody catch hypothermia while several of us are recovering from poison. So a roof over our heads might do us some good as well.
Do whatever you want, but just know that if it goes wrong, I'm not... Actually, well, considering if they don't have possessions, maybe... No. Now that I think about it, maybe I could kill an entire cult of people. Well, maybe fine.
And if danger strikes, fleeing is always an option.
Why would we flee?
If it's a battle we cannot win, of course.
I mean, they said they don't have stuff. How dangerous could they be? Aside from the
Tanya
fanaticism.
pointedly looks at Acheron, who can kill people with their bare hands.
Acheron is such a special case. The Acheron will give you the shrug and be like, yeah, fair enough. We'll tell you that, they trust your judgment. You're the one
It
in
need not
charge
be
here.
for long. If it's just for one night or even half a night, it's dangerous. We leave as soon as we can. We don't need to participate in the ceremonies.
You say jump, we say how high. That's how it's always been. Gesturing to air between Aaron and Acheron.
No, we are a group. Everybody has a say in what goes on. I am making a suggestion, and you are more than willing, you are more than able to deny it. If you don't want to do this, we can skirt around it.
Put it this way, Titania. If it turns out that your curiosity leads us to another situation where it's likely that we could be captured, I won't let that happen again.
Mm.
There's
I still
too
think we
much
could
at stake
take
right
them.
now. Maybe. I'm just saying that I'm not gonna let it happen again.
We don't want anything that can compromise our freedom of movement and of action.
Dennis calls out that he is interested in all of this. And Bogdana says that she doesn't like being wet.
Well, I guess we're going.
Everybody stay on your toes. We'll...
And keep an eye on Dennis. He seems to be looking for a source of hope, and that's exactly where these types of people tend to get recruits. Brainwashing 101.
We will take the room that you offered, but we must be on our way in the morning. Thank you.
How many people are in your tavern group?
Tavern? Are you talking to me now? Am I supposed to answer?
Yes.
Yes, we were talking to
excuse
Talia.
me,
Sorry.
Talia, sorry.
Hi again.
It's not customary where we're from to address people by, like, directly by their names. It's considered very rude.
Oh, I'm very, very sorry. I haven't counted, but I think we're about 100 living in Spirea.
In, like,
And
the
all of
place
them are
where
part
we're
of this-
going?
Yeah,
all of
you
them
know
are part of
Spirea
this
Village?
colony.
Have you ever heard of Spirea Village?
Hasn't everyone?
I mean, that's true. I might be, once again, a little bit modest, but it's pretty cute.
Sorry, Akril, shut up now.
No, it's fine. You're good. Titania will, like,
I mean,
wince a little bit at hearing the population number and be like, okay. And are they all part of these Children of Harmony?
well, all that I've decided to stay, at least.
And you guys don't have possessions, you said? We're walking at this point, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So, but you're actually... Yeah, because even if you weren't, I was gonna ask you to escort me back. I mean, even if this is normal, I don't particularly enjoy it, and being in a bigger group is definitely more... But are you going?
Well, yes, we're coming with you.
That's amazing! Yay! What a harmonious day!
Indeed.
Wait, what was your question? Oh yes, about... well, we do have things, but we never claim ownership to them. The one who needs it takes it, or it's given it. How things should be, if you ask me. It's
How do
a
you, like,
harmonious
defend
way of
yourself?
living. Well, yeah, that's a bit more of a complicated question, because we have sworn off all forms of violence, in any form. So we're not really allowed to protect ourselves, even if it happens, so... But it's better in the long run that way, but... We have gotten some aid from the Ravenmoors in that department.
Oh.
And of course, Janice also helps. We're so blessed to have Janice with us.
Who's that?
Okay, well, yeah, It's out of character. I swear I've heard that name before, and I don't
Yeah,
know what to do
same.
my notes right now.
I've
Yeah.
heard that
Oh,
before.
who is that?
Oh, you haven't heard about Janice either? A miracle brewer?
We haven't heard.
We're very new to the area.
Oh, I'm I'm so happy that I'm able to introduce you to all of it. Oh, it makes me feel so special. I'm sure you've heard of things like Brion's breath and purity and fire and all of that. You know, the monopoly that the Church of Brion keeps on it.
Sayings?
No, they're
Oh, the alcohol.
no, they're special
What are we?
arcane potions of sorts.
Oh. Why did I think they were alcohol? I heard the word brewer and my brain goes, ah yes, it's the
think
beer.
if I
The important thing in
If I
this
remember correctly,
setting.
Rion's breath is the name of healing potions in this world.
Yes,
So
yes, that's the healing.
Ah.
Titania would
bad.
know, but she's
Yes,
not.
yeah, for sure. And purity is
Yes.
the anti-disease, I think.
I clearly wouldn't know this because I make the opposite things.
And well, Janice has been so kind to do the same thing for us, delivering these miracles in liquid form, but with the Stormlord's blessing instead. He trades with the Raven Moors and makes us important, and we're able to live in harmony and peace and in paradise. I was actually out trying to scour for herbs and stones and things that he might need. That's why they got so angry with me. I mean, I just brought lunch, an extra cloak if it got cold, and
What
see
sort of
here in my
herbs was he
basket
looking
is just
for?
some herbs.
May I see?
Yes, of course, here. She like thrusts
Titania
this
wants
into-
to just do a thorough take a thorough inventory of everything that she's gathered, just to see what she has. Ask
Alright.
about
There are a few rocks that seems to have like a white shimmer to them. Which is probably a form of quartz. How pure it is a big question. Then there's different herbs of different kinds. Bogdana looks over your shoulder and kind of whispers to you that it seems to be rather like common, like natural medicines. But there's one thing that she doesn't recognize, which is a strange gnarled root that she has no idea what it is.
Yeah, Titania will say, our herbology is perhaps limited. I don't recognize this root you have here. Is it local?
Oh, yes! It's a spark root. Bit hard to
Oh,
find,
what?
but spark roots?
I hate to inform you, but I am
Oh yeah, right.
terribly uneducated.
Where's my head today? Well, apparently these roots can only be found where lightning has struck. And just grow in the ground. I try to find these scars of the landscape and then take my little scissor and like to remove as much dirt and stone as possible. You can see my hands, they're all dirty now, but the rain has washed some away. Then I chop some off and give it to Janice to use.
Curious. Thank you for sharing. And Titania will hand back the basket.
No worries.
Who exactly is Jens to you?
Janice to me,
Well,
a blessed brother. I'm incredibly grateful for him for what he does for our community.
what does
Yes,
he do for the community?
he create miracle brews. He keeps our safety. Trades important things.
And he's your leader?
Giannis? No. He spends too much time in his cellar being all cooked up. I try to like pull him out sometimes to make sure he gets some fresh air, but he doesn't seem to like it that much. Jackson is he's not really a leader. Kinda though. It's more like everybody listens to him.
That is typically what a leader is.
Oh, true. But there's no title. We just all listen to Jackson. Jackson is very wise.
You said that the Ravenmoors keep you safe because you have sworn off violence or something silly like that.
Oh, I don't think the two are connected. The Ravenmoors are not like us. They
No,
have the
but-
right spirit, but they're not entirely where we want them to be.
Sorry, 1 second. I don't know why, but that really caught me off guard. Sorry, just give me a moment. Ooh. Oh. But you said that they protect
It's our produce and hives and taxes, and indeed what Janice does for the community that we trade with the Ravenmoors have given us a protective status. If you
Which
come
means-
and steal from or hurt Speria village, well then the Ravenmoor is gonna give you twice-fold back. It's kind of how it goes.
Titania will mention the bandits they saw earlier. Is that where we're going? Actually, wait, can we see where we're going?
She's continuing traveling east, but a little bit south, like southeast.
Let's see.
How far away is your village?
Oh, she kind of looks around. Should just be 20 minutes or so, I think, if you keep a good pace.
Aaron will keep a lookout, like if this has led to an ambush,
Mm-hmm.
you know,
Yeah,
like
we're much on
the
our
the
toes.
damsel in distress to be led into another ambush.
Yeah. Alright.
He knows these tricks.
Yeah, you keep a good eye out. Talia continues to chat away about like mundane things, how the weather has been, how life in the village has been. It's all very shit-chattery, you know, gossip. And
Agron just gives Titania like a I regret this decision, kill me now type look.
Titania has
Halfway
the
through the
same
travel.
look on her face.
she would ask sometimes like some innocuous questions to you, but wouldn't pressure, and when you're a little bit like dodgy, she just completely brushes over it and accepts it. Completely non-judgmental.
Oh, what a weird woman.
Nothing happens on your journey, and not before long, Speria village comes into view, and that's when we're gonna have a very, very short break. I realize we're gone a little bit over time, so let's go for a short break and maybe do half an hour more.
Yep.
Yes, go and do what you need to do, and we shall see each other very soon. I'll be right back. I'm just gonna go and grab some refill on my drink. Hope you do good, by the way, Adrian. I hope it's okay.
It's okay.
Okay. Tell me when it's not okay. Alright, I am back.
And then the combo is dead.
I don't know if anyone is left in the chat, but
You have a
if
disgusting
anyone is,
combo
thank you
with
for sticking by. Otherwise, thank you, Cookie and Hamo,
You
for
guys go out to the back.
listening in.
Switch for a branch.
Appreciate you.
Oh. That was.
Alright. If anyone in chat has any questions, anything you want to say, now's the time. Otherwise, we're just gonna wait for everybody to return so we can continue. Welcome back.
Thank you.
Just been here waiting in silence.
The sound of the rain keeping you company.
It's pretty nice, actually. I love falling asleep to Rain and Thunder.
Tell you to get a little bit freaky with it? When you hit
Oh my
6,
god, this is daddy long
I
leg
want
right
you
here.
to cut
Get away.
wave. Yes. Leave it alone. Just last hit. Get 6.
Do you feel like your microphone cuts Yowie out enough?
I think it is an improvement from the
Unless
last
it,
one,
like,
but
gets
I don't
pushed in and they
think-
pushed it and-
Who's Yowie asking to get freaky?
but it's not as much as I wanted it to be, though, sadly. But I also think it's a problem of just the geography of how we sit. Because this is the only place I'm able to have the microphone, which is closer to Yowie. I'm not able to have it on this side.
Wait for Shane, Shane.
Because
No,
Right,
no,
sometimes
but-
you just gotta ask someone to get a little freaky with it, apparently.
Huge.
I think with that microphone, there's a setting to get really, really close, and nothing else outside of your mouth, like being almost on it, will come through.
There's no physical setting on it, and it doesn't require any software.
You're fucked.
Do you have the, like, background dampening thing on?
There's no it should be like always on. I could lower the volume and then be really, really close up to it. Because that's the only thing. There's a direct headphone port to hear myself in real time, and then there's a volume on it.
There's no software?
There's no software.
What's the make?
It's a Rode Podcaster.
Rather.
I might have a drive, of course, but it's no, it's just plug in and play, or have it. Let it do its thing. But I can try to lower the volume and just be very much up close to it. I don't know if that works.
So it could be useful.
There is the Road Connect software you can
Okay.
download for it.
I didn't read up. Didn't see anything about that.
Lane,
I'll
She
send it
comes
to
to
you.
lane again.
Okay.
Shan,
Well,
Lane.
lowering the volume, does that help at all?
Halt. Don't get.
Nope.
Well, I will have to just mute
See,
myself from
dodge.
time to time.
You gotta be shitting me.
Bexxy, I'm sending you a message.
Message
No.
for me?
Yeah.
How lucky I am. I'm popular.
I know, I haven't sent you any 2 a.m. questions recently. I've been woefully asleep at the actual hours you're supposed to be, like a normal human being.
Kick that.
Okay.
It's quite sad.
Oh, jeez. Okay. Well, I was.
Yeah, I got that call on break. We have that time.
Okay. No, I was planning on having a shorter one anyway because of.
Cool.
I want to push
Just
too much
wanted to
ahead.
let you know as soon as I did.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Okay. Well. Ready, everybody?
Never.
That's
Do
true.
it.
Huge, huge one.
Ready for what you have planned? We never are.
That didn't work. Need to go and grab that one again. Hey, hey, hey.
You did very good. You committed. You went balls deep. Nice.
What is Yoey talking about?
He's looking at Dota, I think.
You're above that. I would have.
Let's drown him out a bit.
Go for it.
Well, it's just so funny because all I hear is, "Can I ask you to get a little freaky with it?" Now I hear, "Yeah, you're balls deep in that," and it's just.
Sounds like Yoey. He always says these things.
Incredible.
Okay, so. Indeed, it's not far to Speria, and during the whole journey, Talia chatters happily away about this and that. After crowning another hill, a small community comes into view. By the shore of a sizable lake, Speria Basin. Talia calls out with a fond expression as she points to it. She urges you on, even grabs like Dennis's hand and kind of like half runs towards it a little
Don't
bit.
touch our Dennis.
Yeah,
Don't touch our Dennis.
Boy.
Tanya just like respectfully pulls him back.
That's how. Yeah, I like that Lynn and I both were like, no.
No.
Don't touch our boy. He's
She's
the
hitting
main
on
character.
Dennis?
He's the chosen one.
Oh god. You take in the place as you prevent Dennis to be manhandled. As you walk the last couple of meters to it. Seems to be less than 100 houses. Smoke coming from most of them. And moving about them seems to be a reasonable amount of people, all dressed in faded white to grey. It sits on a rounded bank by the shore of the Speria Basin, in a bit of a half-moon shape. Gathered around the comparably larger stone building with a fancier apartment that kind of grows out of it with wooden details. What draws your eye beside this is a small tent camp, a stone toss away from the village itself, sitting on the flat moors just north of it. The tents surround one large hexagonal tent, for which 2 banners proudly flaps. One is blue and black with golden details, the other is a holy blue one with a falcon flying off with a scroll captured in his talon. As a lore quiz, who is this? I will
Oh, I
tell
know
you.
this.
I'm just checking if you know just from my
I
description.
do. Yeah, don't tell me. Wait, can you give it one more time? The description?
It's one banner with blue and black with golden details, and then another one that is wholly blue with a falcon holding a scroll in one of his talons and flying away.
I know this. Give me just a second.
No cheesy doodles of looking up.
I'm definitely cheating because I'm curious.
I
You
swear I know
will, you
who
will know.
this is.
No, like in game, I will tell you, because your character would know.
I just... no, give me a second to think. I know who this is. I swear to God, like, it's killing me.
I'm just happy that you have definitely, like, it sparks a memory.
Fair enough.
It's the low cloaks from Stormhold. Why?
You're right, yeah.
Why they would be here
Stormhold.
is a
No, that makes
complete
sense.
mystery. However, maybe not as much for Akron. As
Yeah.
Talia herds you to the outskirts of Speria, it seems to be a respectable community, not the wealthiest by far, but seems clean, organized, free of starvation or sickness. The faces that greet you seem healthy, alert, and they do so with open friendliness. They're all dressed in sweeping wool or linen cloth in some shade of white or grey, with very little decorations, and they all call out to you, "Welcome, weary travelers, a harmonious day to you."
It's Akron's nightmare.
And they're as open and friendly as Talia is.
It's Akron's nightmare. Akron just looks like... Akron, usually so stoic and unreadable, looks like... minorly for like anyone else, but for them it might as well be like a complete expression change, but they look just very minorly disturbed,
At the start
which like
of this
increases a
journey-
little bit more every time someone does this.
At the start of this journey, I think Titania would have been overjoyed to be here. She is not overjoyed to be here.
Both of us are just getting straight alarm bells.
Yeah, just alarm bells through it. She'd been like, ooh, Stormlord worshippers in the flesh, whoa, no.
This is a step
Not
too
anymore.
far. They have a dress
Bexxy?
code.
I think this might be the creepiest thing you've made in this
Wow.
whole game. This is the most off-putting thing we have encountered.
Okay, alright, I'm happy.
How does Aaron seem to be taking this in?
Kill this. Take small can. Like,
He
take small.
kind of is looking at it from the same perspective of you guys. Like, he doesn't
Okay,
necessarily see the difference. Like, you're still weird humans.
Oh,
True.
so you don't get that this is good to know.
No, I suppose not. I mean, from perspective of
fair.
understanding the subtleties of this, no, I wouldn't
No,
say
that
that
makes
Aaron has that feelings.
Yeah, well, maybe Aaron can pick up on the fact that Acheron visibly looks disturbed.
Doesn't they look disturbed most of the time?
I think they just kind of look most of the time. Dead face, dead eyes. Now they're kind of... No, I guess that's fair, because Acheron is threat assessing, and they always do that. No, that's fair. Never mind. You're right.
Bogdana
make a
looks
point.
less than impressed though. Like Bogdana is like looking down her nose at all of this.
GM, would Titania know the low cloaks?
Yes, absolutely. It's a force in the world that you've definitely heard of. If Ginevra was here
Right.
and Lola was here, I would like also.
Oh, she swapped
Question
her
is like
soul.
how much of them that you know, but you definitely know the basics. It's one of the 4 major guilds of Stormhold that is considered by like in comparison to the other 4 that this is more academic in nature than the other ones. They care more about knowing things. The Night Striders are a bit more about money. Steel Shade is about might, and Stormguard is about... I don't really know what to call the Stormguard. Freedom! Maybe.
America.
No, it's like the same kind,
No.
but individual freedom. Yeah, Stormguard.
Yeah. I think Titania will look at Akron say, and with the say,
Looks like
checking out what the low cloaks are doing here might be our safest option.
What do I know about? Sorry, go ahead.
See how long they've been here, what they've been researching, why they're here, if it's safe for foreigners.
What do I know about the low cloaks? Anything different?
Use station. Use the gun.
Like, Stormhome in itself is seen to be rather heretical by the church. The low clothes are like considered scholars who have no boundaries or limitations and would walk into like areas of extreme danger and not care, right? The trope of like they would be talked about like a Victor Frankenstein kind of deal.
Sounds like someone we know.
They also are known to be, from the church perspective, to be a menace when it comes to spying and blackmail. It's quite common that low cloaks would blackmail priests for money. And sometimes agents are called in to counter-spy or counter-assassinate or pick up this intel about these priests to save them the social falling out or paying the price of the blackmail. As you're part of the story.
Yeah, how do they typically take people inquiring into their business? If I had to guess.
I mean, okay. Let's say like this. They're a hyper-capitalistic society run by 4 oligarchical guild companies that are constantly in either open warfare or cold warfare with each other, and you're dealing with the one who cares the most about science and information and knowledge.
They really are just America. Lynn was right.
How would you think?
On the sniper.
If there's money to be had or advantages to be gained, they're probably interested to hear.
They won't just stab you outright for asking questions, is what I'm hearing.
Probably not.
Acheron will tell Titania to tread lightly. They are worse than you think they are. And that should be saying something.
That's... Here I was hoping I might find a fellow scholar and see if they were safe when interacting with cult nonsense. Okay.
I'm going with you, I hope you know.
Please.
So that you don't get yourself stabbed or blown up or sold or whatever else. Probably wouldn't bode well. And I kind of like you, but don't tell anyone.
Unfortunately, we're surrounded by enemies on all sides. Even if these people have sworn off violence, they're still in bed with the Ravenmoors, so...
Typical
Can't be too
Tuesday,
cautious.
then.
What'd you say?
Typical Tuesday, then. At least that hasn't changed.
Yeah.
That would be Remessen. Typical Remessen.
Oh. Yes.
A Remessen.
I love that I wrote all these things down and then I actively don't use it.
That one is not very much used. The worst.
My
and
bad.
Talia won't let you do more than just a few hasty greetings back, as you're a little bit overwhelmed by like everybody stopping and like giving you more and giving this same greeting to you. She
So
says
creepy.
she is worried that you would catch a cold considering how soaked you all are. And indeed, as you step into the second largest building in this community, which has an attached stable to it, not all for horses though, the weather changes. The rain turns into a smattering, pounding kind of onslaught, and lightning starts to flash and thunder to boom. The wind picks up, and you step into the local pub
No, I still can't.
and tavern and inn, everything that is required to be. Let's calm that down and add some of this. The innkeeper, a friendly, freckled, middle-aged man with a tumultuous red beard, doesn't question your visit once. He heartily welcomes you with the same line, and it doesn't take long until you have been given 3 out of the 6 very modest but clean rooms, and then offered baths, something to eat, clothing to borrow, as they offer to do laundry with your clothing, your traveling clothing. And to like slowly, you know, they have this huge round wooden bathtub in a back room that they're able to like heat up water for, and if you want to soak a little bit in the bath. I think Geneva would say yes to that. Knowing her.
Yeah,
She probably would.
I think Acheron is confident that should the need arise, they can take these people, so they'll also accept the bath.
Yeah, Titania's like, okay,
But not like
Not
at
gonna
the same time as everyone else, because they want someone to be watching our stuff at all times.
Aaron
Mhm.
doesn't accept.
Okay.
Fair enough.
He has
Titan-
prestidigitation for all that.
Mm.
But bats are nice.
Maybe, but
Titania
he has
will
things to
accept.
conceal.
That's fair.
Mm. All right.
Titania
Like your
will-
wings.
accept, and just ask to be left alone in the bathtub instead of having like somebody else bathe her, you know? That sort of thing.
As long as someone's watching the stuff at all times, which I guess Aaron would be. So
Yeah. The your rooms have a lock on the inside, so you can. It's a rudimentary lock. Acheron, you probably would be very easy for you to break in if you wanted to, but I mean, at least it's there. So you're able to just stuff away your stuff and just hand them your clothes rather than anything of your like backpacks or stuff, right?
yeah.
And you would be given these whitish, grayish robes to wear in the meantime.
I was like, why the fuck is that person about killing the egg?
That's creepy. Acheron's keeping one of their outfits for themselves and wearing one of the outfits Acheron has, because this is creepy.
You have extra, yeah.
Well, because I have the 3 different types of outfit in my backpack.
Oh, yeah.
I'm
You,
a
bust
special
out
bean.
the nicer, yeah.
Yeah, I'll bust out the dress again. It's been a while.
All right.
Titania, I think, will like accept the robes and then just like look at them for a while and say, if I'm gonna be looking into these people, might as well, and puts on.
Acheron will poke endless fun at you and will make fun of you for wearing the cult robes.
I look like shit. At least I get to keep my gloves because I'm not taking those.
I mean, I don't know, Titania. I think the white's a good look on you. Have you considered joining a cult? Do you have a moment to talk about our Lord and Savior, the Stormlord?
Stormlord? Apparently I do, because it's part of my research. Like, this is... If I weren't so scared, this would be exactly what I've been looking for. But fuck.
Why are you scared? What are they gonna do? Be nice to you to death?
Report
yes,
us.
they're very
They are-
snuggly. I'm sure that their cuddles are toxic.
They are in bed with the Ravenmoors, and the Ravenmoors are in bed with Irene. There's a network of connections here that means our presence here is immediately getting us suspicion. But also,
Titania, Take a second and think. Irene already knows we're here, most likely. She's either tracking you or she's divining it, just like she has every other time she's figured something out about us. So just fucking enjoy yourself for once. You're not gonna get the chance to do it again for a while.
Where's my
Okay,
notebook? Okay.
and if I'm telling you to enjoy the weird cult thing that you've dragged us to, you better fucking do it. Okay? I'm having to endure all of these weird, creepy people for you, so you better make the most of it.
One by
I make
one.
it on this decision.
One by one, you're offered the baths, soak a little bit, and then you kind of meet up in the dining room of the pub. Which, I mean, it's lunchtime. It's a little bit later now, lunchtime, because of your baths kind of, you know, went over time a little bit. But there's nobody inside of the pub. But for the innkeeper, who heats up some mutton stew and some fresh water, and you are seated by one of the corner tables. It's hearty food. There's nothing to scoff at. The cutlery is certainly shipped or of very, very modest quality. But it works. And then he forgives himself because he is needed to help out with the preparations before the Feast of Gratitude tonight. But you are just to peek your heads out if you are in need of anything. When you mention the question of like payment, he says that everything is free. But they would appreciate some help with either doing some laundry, some cooking duties for the feast tonight, or indeed combing some wool and cleaning some wool. If you are willing to help with some work, just go to somebody and ask, and they will have a task for you. But it's not necessary, and he makes it very clear that they are not pressuring you in any way, and you will be completely debt-free if you just decide to leave. And then you're left alone.
Thanks, and then
Left
just kind of
alone
like
with
pick
the
at the
mutton
robes that she's wearing as they're eating.
Yeah.
Like,
You're left alone in the pub as the rain and the thunder smatters above.
Is this giving you what you want to discover, Titania?
I'm thinking about as much as it is urgent that I keep working on these spells, but I would like to help do some of that work and see if I can ask some questions from locals and maybe whatever this feast is, their holidays, culture. I mean, even outside of getting information for our clandestine business, this will be useful for my research on its own. Not everything needs to be trying to remind myself to actually do things instead of just being paranoid all the time.
I mean, they're here following a different god than you, than Rian. Isn't that something you've always wanted to find out?
Like, there's that fire of curiosity, but it's been, over these last days and weeks, it's been smothered. frustration and fear and paranoia, and it's like, ah,
What are you afraid of?
I'm afraid of death, but more than that, I'm afraid of going back to where I once was.
Is that likely to happen here?
As likely as anywhere else, I suppose.
You're going to shut yourself off just because of fear. You never learn anything.
Perhaps I need to go back to the most basic of lessons at the university in Blackburn. It's one of the first things they teach you when you're on your way to becoming a field researcher.
I'll protect you. I'm sure Acheron will too. If there's anything, now is the time to not be afraid. Not around these people.
Right.
Was I supposed to be protecting her this whole time?
Bolstered by Aaron and Acheron's presence, I think Titania's gonna go finish her meal, and then, let's go work around this commune, huh? Or I will, at least.
Akron wants
Talk
to
with the
do work.
locals. And
So
Before-
Akron would
see
prefer to do something more like setting up than cooking or cleaning.
Before actually you finish your lunch, the door opens to reveal a brown-haired man, almost black, with a wooden walking staff, a blue bandana, and a broad and honest smile. Looks you over for a second, then lifts a chair from one of the vacant tables to join yours, sits down. Welcome to our humble community. I am Jackson. I don't have a title, but people listen to me and I answer to that responsibility very humbly. I like to talk with every stranger that passes through Sperea, and I can imagine that you have some questions burning in your hearts, no? And
You're
with
the
that,
lead.
quite a few,
Oh,
actually.
we got into tonight's episode of Asia's Turn. Woo!
Oh, okay, cool.
Ooh. Hitting us with it and then leaving us to think about it. I see what you're doing. I'm onto your games, Bexxy.
Caught me red-handed.